everybody, welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. This is part 2 of my, I don't even know what to call them, my book page pockets, I guess, I don't know. I'll have to work on that. But we've been creating pages to go into our journal signature using book paper and some beautiful pattern papers. So these are the book papers that we've started with, and that was the first one, and this is, sorry, that was the second one that we created. This was the first one that we created. So this one was using AntiquePaperie paper, and I believe the burlap and lace comes from Digital Curio. I truly hope I got that right. And then my tea stain digitals. And then the second paper, which I actually showed you first, was using VectoriaDesign papers. So, sorry, that caught my eye. I'm just wanting to make sure that it's sitting in there. Okay. Using VectoriaDesign papers and then my tea stain paper as well. And then on this side, again, VectoriaDesign papers and my tea stain paper. So really, really happy with the way they've turned out. And I'm just going to do my next one. Now, I did also mention that I will have to reinforce. You can see how fragile this paper is. I'll have to reinforce the bottom of these before I attach my papers. So my plan is to do the papers on camera to show you basically how I'm going to lay them out. And I do want to ink them before I lay them down. So I will do the inking and the gluing off camera probably. Okay, and I'm just looking for my next set of papers that I had pulled out were from ARTYmaze, and I may need to choose a second piece for her papers because I've only chosen, well, maybe we can make that work. I don't know. What else do I have in here? I actually don't mind that one. I'm thinking it's door number 1. I'm thinking this one. So pop the others aside. Hubby's home, so I may be finishing this video tomorrow. I'll see how I go. I will be back, everybody. See you soon. My next page I'd like to do is using ARTYmaze digital papers, and I've gone through and I've selected 2 that I'd like to use together, and the coordinating tea stained paper, and I've done that for both the front and the back of the page. So going to continue with the same process. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not feeling at my peak today. I've got a really bad headache, migraine, And I was toying with whether or not to turn the camera on. Hubby has actually messaged to say he's going to be late today, and his message went something like, I'm going to be late today. He told me what he was doing, told me what time he'd be home, and he finished with happy videoing. And I laughed, and then I felt guilty because I hadn't got to doing any today because I've been feeling so yuck. Today is housework day, so I've not long finished doing the housework and had something to eat, and I was trying to decide whether I had it in me to come here or whether I should have a sleep, or I've taken something for it and it's just not touching the sides. But anyway, I live in hope that it will go. I did spend some time last night printing off some more things to fussy cut. I had a play actually with my Cricut and some of my digitals, and I took the backgrounds out of some of my images so I could use them as focal points rather than fussy cutting by hand. I thought, well, I'll do it that way and print them without the backgrounds and get the Cricut to print and cut. And it worked really well, except my digitals didn't print as well. Somehow it's changed the quality of the images, so I don't know why. Makes me a little bit sad. I did really love the way they worked except for that. So I haven't given up. I just need to play a bit more. Oops, make sure that's straight. And I am noticing that this paper isn't quite straight, so I might scooch that across. Just sitting here thinking, I still haven't worked out how I'm going to reinforce the bottom, and tearing this strip off, I'm thinking that folded in half across the bottom may be all it needs. Hold on to that thought. I don't know if it's the book paper that's not straight here, but I need to make it work together. So okay. And so, just tearing off my strips. I like to roll it in my hands. It just gives me a little bit more access when I'm tearing to get a hold of. Well, usually it works. It's not doing it for me today. Kind of goes with the rest of my day. Oh dear. Okay, so that's one. And I think I want to tear that before the flowers so that I have the flowers complete in the last one. It's got a kink in the paper. I think it's not, just doesn't want to roll properly. That's better. Two, and then 3 I'm going to tear with the ruler. I might turn it upside down, I think. Okay. And again, I'm going to paper clip these to the page. Just so I can see where the placements will be. Okay. The rolling thing isn't working for me at the moment. I've just realized I haven't torn the bottom of it to get the right length or height, sorry. I don't know if turning the video on I don't know if turning on the video today is a good idea. I think it's going to be a hot mess, guys, but we'll see how we go. Okay, and then a second one. And then some tea stain digital. And that's not anywhere near wide enough. Okay, so I might get another one of those. I do just want to double check that I haven't underestimated whether I can use this one. No, I can't. What about this one? No, that's okay. Okay, so that's one side of our, I need to add a couple of more paper clips there, I think. That's one side of our page, and the other, it's not quite folding in half, but it gives you a general idea. And then for the other side, I've chosen this page here with this one and the green. I thought they worked really well, so fingers crossed. Okay. Okay, so that was a bit of a process. I guess that's what happens when you try and craft with a migraine, but never mind, we got there. I think they're really, really pretty. So happy with them. So that's our 3 sets of papers, and I do have to create some more, but I need to choose the papers that I want to work with. So I might turn the camera off here and turn it back on once I've gone through my papers and selected my next set. So I'll see you shortly. Bye. Hello everybody, back again. So I've selected my papers for my other 3 pages to go in our signatures, and I'm going to make a start on those now. So this is a continuation from the last time I had the camera turned on. And oh, I thought I have got the, I'm looking for the book paper and it's right here under my nose. So I'm going to fold this in half. And then we're going to start collating our papers. So I've chosen the same as with the others, 3 sheets for each side. So for this side I'm working with for this page I'm working with AntiquePaperie and Digital Curio. The AntiquePaperie is the lace kit, or lace collection I think it's called, and the burlap and lace from Digital Curio. I think they're a beautiful match. And I'm just going to tear a strip off my edges. I just don't want that perfect edge. And I would like to tear it to size, which I didn't do with the last page and I regretted that. So okay. I do want to make sure I have my paper around the right way. And just tearing my strips. So I've been doing 3 strips for the first sheet that I use, which is usually the most patterned paper, and then 2 strips of each of the other papers that I use. And you could do this with any papers. You don't have to choose papers from the same collection. They could be from different collection. They could be scrap papers. They could be, as long as the colours work together, I think this would work for any paper. I think I'll tear that down. There's a line down the centre of that page, so I'm just going to use that as my tear line, I think. And that leaves the beautiful butterflies on that piece of paper, which is fun. Okay. And then I need to tear the edges off this sheet as well. I knew I should have lifted it from this end. I just need to work out how much lace and how much burlap I want showing, and I think about there. No right or wrong. I could have taken it from the bottom of the paper, but I did print this paper to use for this purpose, and the beauty of digitals is that you can reprint, so I'm going to take advantage. I feel like I've done so much printing since I got my new printer, and as I showed in a previous video, I have actually been and purchased another set of inks in preparation for when I need to re-ink my printer. I felt like it was getting really low. Well, sorry, it started to indicate that it was getting lower, and I maybe panicked. I don't know if is the right word, but I remember looking at it and thinking, I'm doing so much printing, I need to have ink here as a backup. I don't want to run out. So I went for a drive and I purchased some more, and I'm not used to the little windows in. So for those of you who don't know, sorry, I'm just assuming that you've watched previous videos, I purchased the Epson EcoTank 2750 because I felt like it would give me more value for money as far as ink mileage. When I'm printing, there was nothing wrong with the printer I had. It was working fine. The print results were great, but I was constantly having to buy new cartridges. And I heard about these EcoTank printers from Gayle Agostinelli's channel and decided to do some research, asked a lot of questions, and ended up purchasing one for myself with the hope that it would give me more mileage as far as my dollar and the amount of printing I could do. And I am so blown away. Like, I don't even think I could calculate how much I've done so much printing that I can't even remember how much printing I've done, because I just keep going and going and going, and I'm really not second guessing whether I should be printing something, which is really fun, because I don't know, it was really troubling me before that I would run out, like I might run out, so I won't print that. Whereas I'm not having the same reservations now. And yeah, so I purchased ink a little while ago, probably, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago now, thinking I was about to run out, and I still haven't run out, guys. The windows, the one that is the lowest is the yellow, and it's not quite half empty on the window. So when I said I had a little bit of panic, I kind of looked at the window and went, is this like an indication that I'm getting towards the end of the ink and this is going to move really quickly? And because I don't know the machine, I decided that I probably should have a backup just in case that was the case. In case it was an indication that it was going to run out sooner rather than later. I just can't believe I did a heap of printing last night, and honestly, I don't even know that the ink levels barely moved. I think I can't speak its praises enough right now. And ironically, the black has barely moved, which I'm finding really, really surprising. It is a larger tank than the colours, but and the other fun thing was going over, I only purchased the coloured inks when I bought the replacements, because the black, I don't even think the black had moved at all when I went over to buy replacements, so I decided that that wasn't necessary. Okay, that's the first page done. It's very difficult to fold them over to show you because they're not folding the way they need to, but you can get an idea. Really pretty. I'm going to have to paperclip the bottoms as well. What was I saying? I think I was talking about the fact that I didn't purchase the black refill. I only purchased the colours because the black had barely moved, and I was doing a lot of coloured printing. Obviously I was printing digital, so I decided that that's what I needed to replace, and the black still has barely moved. So I've got these 3 sheets for my other side. So yeah, I'm loving it. Loving it so much. I'm keeping these little strips, I've just decided. I haven't been. Some of them were a little bit more narrow than others, but I just looked at it and went, that would be really fun for the scrap paper ruffle roll. So that's what I'm keeping them for. And I don't think I did the top edge. Oh, that slipped. That's okay. Okay. Oh, I do need to tear the bottom piece. Oops. Okay. Lace collection, the colors are so soft and so pretty. This blue is divine. I don't even know if the camera will do it justice. I may have some edges to tidy up once I glue all this down, I'm not sure, but I will worry about that when I get to that phase. I'm just moving my hand along the ruler when I tear to place the pressure on the ruler where in the area where I'm tearing. So at the moment my hand is up here and I'm putting most pressure in that area, and I can feel when I get to a spot that hasn't got as much pressure that I need to swap it out and move my hand placement, and that seems to be helping to get those finer pieces of paper torn. I feel like I'm developing some sort of technique isn't the right word because there is no such technique. Sorry. Oh, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I feel like I'm developing a little bit of well, I guess you could call it technique. I'm becoming one with my paper. I'm starting to have an understanding of how I can best use it. Freehand tearing is a different story. I think I need to watch more of Rachel from Roxy Creations to try and work out what her technique is. And this rolling the paper was working really well for me the other day, and now it's not. Ah, that's it. Oops. Starting to feel like my fire may need some attention. It's cooling off in here a little bit. So I do need to I haven't allowed myself quite as much room to give a torn edge to the top of this, so I may need to try and distress it just with my thumb. It's really pretty. It's almost got like a winter wonderland look about it. So lovely. Okay, so there are 2 sides for our second lot of, that one should be underneath there. There we go. Our second lot of AntiquePaperie papers. I think they're really beautiful. And I may just stop the video there and go and check on my fire. I'll see if I can get back to the table very shortly. In the meantime, happy crafting everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.